The Plague Doctor of Wippra is a very interesting game. As the plague spreads, fear and pain come along with it, and as a doctor, it is my job to bring healing and solve these problems. However, ignorance and power come in between in this retro medieval adventure. Without further ado, let's get started. The game starts us off writing to a professor from a town in central Germany about how the plague has struck Wippra and there aren't many trained physicians. As a plague doctor, I have to deliver bad news when nothing more could be done to help. Despite all the bad events, we believe we have found the cause of the plague. However, let's start from the beginning. We start the game off with the neighbor's dog barking as our alarm, bright and early in the morning. The sun is high in the sky and plenty of work awaits us. But before heading out, we need to grab our bag and our medicine book. However, there is a specific achievement to never use the book, and that's what we will do the whole game. If need be, I will either follow a guide or I'll just try to figure it out myself. If I can't figure it out myself, then I'll just end up using a guide so that we can get this achievement and not have to do a whole entire another walkthrough. But after that, we grab our knife, and then we will go and grab our medicine book as well. Now, after getting everything, we're going to go ahead and head out. Start the day. Shortly after heading into the village, we stumble upon the basket weaver's house, who it appears a soldier is boarding up. However, just before that, we're gonna go ahead and get our first achievement. Someone's scrawling drawing on the wall. The notorious prankster, balancing on a rope. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that name. I know that I'm gonna fail and someone's gonna be yelling at me in the comments. It's actually pronounced. But we run into Arnold from the City Watch. Looks like he's boarding up the window because the cutler has come down with the plague. So, without keeping him from his work, we head on over to the right and continue our journey. After heading on, we then have to scare away these rats. We grab our handy dandy stick. And you can use your imagination. We either whack them away or we scoot them off softly. However you're feeling today. Knocking on the door, we then get the attention of whenever she wants to answer. Now we're just heading in here to visit. Her husband asked, so we're gonna come in, check what's going on here. Looks like something's wrong with Sven. Little Dota 2 reference in there. Now, before checking on the kid, we're gonna go ahead and cut off this dangling string. Head on over here, tell the little kid if he can step on out of the way so we can examine his brother. Go ahead and put the lamp there to give us a little more light. And go ahead and examine the kid. And then, this is where we have to give the bad news. Now before heading on, after saying there's a chance of recovery, we're going to have to go ahead and look for the cure. So we're going to move on and go look for it. Now as we're leaving, the soldier then confronts us, letting us know that every plague must be reported, even if it means they must seal the door. However, I have to help this family, so I'm gonna keep it on the down low. Now I choose to do the best thing possible, is not to let their child die alone. I'm going to try to help them, obviously, because I'm the doctor. Now as we head on forward into the story, we head to the convent courtyard, where we will meet some nuns. We're gonna head on in, and we'll meet the first one. Now, this is going to be our first puzzle. All you have to do is match these symbols with the correct area that they are located in a book. This one was a little tricky, a little confusing. However, after grabbing them all, we get ourselves our second achievement. Now this one's a pretty short game, and I'm not going to be talking most of the time just because a lot of the game is the captions at the bottom, so I'll allow you guys to read those without trying to talk too much over it. Now we're going to grab some items, some oil, a sharp bar. And after doing all this, we're then going to meet the princess, or the queen, in charge of everything, and we're going to bloodlet her. Apparently because she has a migraine, so letting out some blood will help that, apparently. Not here to argue, I'm just the doctor. Well, hopefully she gets better soon because of that. After heading on out, we then head over to the hospital, and we meet two of the plague patients. Going to head out, we try to find a cure for them, and as we're doing that, we run into some nice gentlemen. Not letting us pass, telling us to get lost. So we go and rat to the princess, telling her to come and help us out. As they apologize, she then tells them to get lost. And we thank her for her intervention. We tell her that if we're needed again, just to call. And as they leave, we get our next achievement, a good servant. Moving on, we come over to this bird. We just walk behind the bush and try to interact with it, and it flies away. We then go outside of the church and try to grab it from the backside. Having the same thing happen again. Going back to where we just were, grabbing it for the last time. Gives us a feather. Now as we move on back to the village, we meet this guy. Telling all about God. To those who are not free from sin and live a sacrilegious life, great suffering will come. Now, as we get a coin from a servant here to help save somebody, he ends up seeing us. Telling us we stopped the believer from buying a holy indulgence. But it was his own decision. However, we think he's stupid. Being called a heretic, getting told we're lying and sinning, we just leave because we have business to take care of. Looking back on this guy, looks like he's not doing too well. We just take a cloth to his head, get another achievement, as he moans and complains. We then take some tweezers, get all the bone splinters, taking a hand drill to his head, like you normally do. Looks like it hurts a little bit. And then after getting the coin that we got earlier, we go ahead and use it on the servant. This will help heal the wound. And he should be better. Now, as we try to take care of the rat problem, we use this holy water brush, the vinegar, and now all the rats have been driven away. Now the window's able to be opened. Now we have to let them know that we have to report their plague. However, we will be bringing a sister who will be bringing food to them so that they can stay alive. Grabbing us our next achievement. However, this guy comes back again, noticing. What's going on here? Not only does he prevent believers from buying indulgences, now he is also desecrating religious implements? Looks like we're being caught. But they don't understand that we're just trying to save everybody. We'll report this to the mayor immediately. After this incident, I'm sure my theory will find no audience here. Please verify my hypothesis. I admit it sounds bold, but if I'm right, this could be the turning point. You are highly respected and your authority will surely convince the people. Yours sincerely, your student, Oswald Keller. After hearing something at the window, we go and check it out. And it's the city watch with the priest. Oswald Keller, you're under arrest. Alright, so we gotta get out of here, obviously, before they get in, so we're gonna go ahead and grab everything that we need. We're gonna grab our backpack. Grab that letter that we were writing. Grabs us another achievement. Then we're gonna use the knife on this bed here. Make it into a rope. And this will allow us to escape. Now, so that we don't get caught, we have to hide. We remove this pile of garbage and jump into this window. In the next morning, we end up finding someone in here with us. And now we're trying to distract ourselves so that we're not seen by the city watch or the priest or anybody. Grabbing some wood chips. Take them, use them. Help disguise yourself a little more. Now this will probably help us with the guards. Now we look all ragged. And we notice our opportunity. A man with a horse. Now, after some convincing, we were able to get in the back of his wagon, and he takes us on to continue our journey. Now, they no longer want to hold funeral ceremonies because everybody's scared. No proper burials, no clerical blessings. Everyone's afraid of the plague and everything. Now, putting IDC, I don't need details, will give us our next achievement. Almost finishing up the game here. I had a lot of fun in this one. This one was a very interesting game. Now, after asking to be let off, thanking him for everything he's done, we run into these people. While we're looking for somewhere to stay, we need to help her husband, so we make a little deal. If she lets us stay, that will help the husband. So she lets us on in. He's not feeling well, just laying down. So we're gonna try to help him. Grabbing everything from outside, we come back in. Now we're gonna make a tea for him to drink. Elderberry, willow bark, and now the tea is ready. Just a tea to relieve fever and pain. And he thinks it's against God's will, so we convince him that God sent him to us. Give him the tea and now he should be better, and they give us a place to sleep for the night. Now time to check if he's better. Hurry up and go, I'm so sorry. She called the guards on us and the city watch and the priest. They'd take us. Charge us with heresy, witchcraft, and theft. All we're trying to do is help, and they just don't understand. A brew we made, the tea last night, they think it's the devil's work. Witchcraft, witchery, take him in for questioning. He will confess everything. Or will we? After trying to convince the village that the rats have fleas and that's where the plague comes from, nobody wants to believe it. After choosing no, I stand by my theory. Here we get the last 2 achievements. Or just 1 for now until we finish the game. Oswald Keller's letter never reached its addressee. In 1894, the pathogen that caused the plague was discovered by Swiss physician Alexander Yersin. Today we know that the plague was a bacterial infection transmitted from rats to humans in the Middle Ages, primarily by fleas. Yikes, that was fast. And there's the last 2 achievements. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this game as much as I did. I really like these story-driven games, these point-and-click games. It's a fairly easy one. If you'd like to get the game, it is called The Plague Doctor of Wippra. I would very recommend it when it goes on sale as well. However, until the next video, goodbye.